Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to sit down and create a makeup look using a bunch of new products that I've recently got and really been liking. So it's not the first time that I've used any of these, but they are pretty new to me and I've been using them nonstop ever since I got them. Normally, I always restock on items that I just have always loved, especially during like Sephora sale and things like that. And I venture out here and there with new products, but I usually never love them or it doesn't really replace that item in my routine. But this time I think I've just gotten really lucky with all the new products that I've been trying. So I actually got a bunch of new products that have replaced my main item in every category. So I have like a new go-to primer, a new go-to concealer, a new go-to foundation, mascara, palette, things like that. So yeah, I figured why not sit down and create a look using all those new products. So if you want to see the new products that I got and why I really like them and how I achieve this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so really quickly, the beginning clips were all out of focus, so I had to cut them out. But I wanted to mention what I did to prep my skin because skin prep is key. It doesn't matter what products you're using on your skin. If it's not moisturized or mattified where it needs to be, or you have a lot of dead skin, it just doesn't serve as the best canvas for everything you put on top. So with that being said, I actually did exfoliate my face this day. I don't do it every day, just every once in a while, and I use the Lancer polish, and then I moisturize my skin using the Lancome moisturizer, but you can just use whatever your go-to moisturizer is. And then I primed my skin using the Milk Makeup Hydra Grip Primer. For foundation, I'm using the new Fenty Hydrating Longwear foundation. I actually did not like her original foundation. I just didn't love the way it looked on my skin, and I don't even have dry skin, so I'm surprised I tried this because usually hydrating foundations can look too greasy or oily on me. But this one is so pretty. It just gives you a nice healthy glow without looking oily. So I'm sure if you have dry skin, you'll actually love it even more than I do. And then as usual, I'm just spreading it out as much as possible with my brush and then going in with my LC Cosmetics sponge to press it in and finish blending it out. LC Cosmetics actually sent me this sponge, so shout out to them. I feel so special for getting something sent to me. I love how big and flat the end is. It blends out my foundation super quick and evenly, and it's pretty dense, so it actually kind of stamps the foundation into my face more so than picking up the product, which is nice when you really want like a really good full coverage look. So this concealer is new-ish, I would say. My favorite concealer has always been the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, but the one in the tube, and this time I finally decided to try the one in the pot. I just got it in the same shade, and I kind of want to say that this might be better than the one in the tube, and I think that it'll last me a lot longer as well. It's not as hydrating, but it's definitely not dry by any means. It just stays in place a lot better. I just go in and apply it with a brush, and then I also blend it out with the brush as well. I feel like that works the best, but you can also use your finger to tap it in and then take a sponge and go over top of it. To set it lightly, I'm just using the Charlotte Tilbury powder. This also isn't new, but I did recently get the other shade, so I got the shade number 2. I've always had shade number 1. That way I can use it for the rest of my face. And now for my favorite, most underrated product. This is the Bare Minerals Well Rested Powder. It is super brightening and you need the tiniest amount. It's not a baking powder. This powder does have coverage, so it will look caked up really quickly if you put too much of it on. Instead of going in with a lighter concealer, I like to add brightness with the brightening powder instead. And this one is super powerful. You just need a tiny bit and it really does make you look well rested. And now to set the rest of my face, I'm using this Jouer setting powder. This powder is so pretty. It actually claims to be hydrating, which is so weird for a powder, but if you actually touch it in person, it does kind of have this like dampness to it. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's really nice. Doesn't leave your skin looking dry or powdery whatsoever. And it just sets and locks your foundation into place and gives you a really nice soft focus look. And now I'm using this MAC powder to bronze. Nothing new here. My favorite LC bronzer broke, so this will have to do. Now I'm just taking my damp beauty blender from before and just going over where I bronzed just to make sure it's blended in really nicely and to pick up any excess bronzer. And now taking this Morphe bronzer to contour my nose. I forgot how much I love contouring my nose. It just adds so much definition so my nose doesn't get lost in my face, especially after all the highlighting. It can kind of look really flat. So I'm just taking a small amount and dusting it along the sides of my nose. I'm not really trying to change the shape or anything. And now for my least favorite step, my brows. I really don't do anything special. I just take the brow pomade from Anastasia on a little flat angled brush and just kind of go around and define them and fill in any sparse areas and keep it moving. And now back to blush. I guess I'm just all over the place right now. This is Milani in the shade Luminoso. This is a really pretty drugstore blush that really just looks good on a lot of different skin tones. Now to prime my eyes, I'm using this Louise base. I've wanted this product for so long, I've just never gotten around to ordering it because it is from England. But looking back, I should have applied more and blended it in with a sponge instead, so that's what I'm gonna do next time. But for the first time using it, I did really like it. I tend to get really greasy eyelids, so I always prime my eyes, whether I'm wearing eyeshadow or not. But this acts as a nice base to kind of cancel out any pigmentation and just make your eyeshadows pop a little bit more. Now for my eyes, I'm using this Dose of Colors Baked Browns palette and just taking every shade and putting it on my eye. Really not doing anything special whatsoever, but I just wanted to mention this palette because it is new to me. It definitely has a lot of kickback. It reminds me a lot of the Anastasia palettes. So be careful if you're doing your eyes after your face because you don't want that fallout going down your face. For me personally, I don't mind if there's fallout if the shadow itself is good, which these are. They're really pigmented, easy to blend, and the colors are really pretty. I would say just be sure to tap off the excess and build up color instead of trying to put on a lot at once. Otherwise it will be all over your face. Like I mentioned, I was just taking every single color in this palette. They're all pretty similar, so I was just starting with the lighter shades and then building it up, taking the darker shades to define my crease and outer corners even more, and then going in between each step with a clean brush to further blend it out. All the colors in this palette are pretty similar. It's kind of like a gradient of browns, which is really nice because then you can just kind of use every single color for an entire look. Now for mascara, as you may have noticed, I like to wear a lot of mascara. I prefer to build up my natural lashes over wearing falsies. So what I'll do is I'll go back and forth from eye to eye, slowly building up the product while also continuously fanning them out at the same time so that they're as dramatic as possible. I'm really picky about my mascaras, and since my lashes are on the longer side, most mascaras that I try just don't really do it for me. So I usually stick to my go-tos, which are the Maybelline Lash Sensational from the drugstore, or I really like the Nars Climax and the MAC Extreme Dimension, and now this Milk Makeup one. It's the Kush mascara, which has become my new obsession. So if you are like me and you prefer to play up your natural lashes instead of wearing falsies, I highly recommend this mascara. It is amazing. And then for my lower lashes, I always use the MAC Gigablack Lash. Primarily for the wand, it's just perfect for lower lashes. I don't think that there's anything special with the formula. And now, even though this footage is trash, I just left it in here to say that I'm using this brown pencil for my waterline just to add some definition, but I didn't want it to be as harsh as using a black liner, so I used this. And then for highlight, another new product. This is this Stila Heaven's Hue highlight in the shade Kitten. It's almost like a soft mousse when you touch it, but it's a powder at the same time. It's so pretty and it melts in really nicely. So if you're like me and you prefer a candlelit glow over like those beamy frosty highlights, then definitely try this. It's really nice. And lastly, for lips, I'm taking the KKW lip liner and the MAC Cork lip liner, and I'm going in with the KKW one first and just lining my lips like I normally do, and then I'm using the Cork lip liner since it is a little darker
just to define my cupid's bow, and then the center of my lower lip just to make them appear slightly fuller. And then I'm going in with Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in Celebrity Skin, followed by the Makeup Revolution Sheer Brilliant Lip Gloss in Brunch. I'm obsessed with this gloss. It's so pretty. I talked about it in my last video. I can't get enough of it, and it's only $6, so can't go wrong.
Alright guys, that completes this video. I ended up just deciding to do a voiceover because I have to go to the airport now, and I know that I wouldn't be able to finish the video in time if I were talking through it. So I will link everything that I mentioned in the description box below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.